Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Bill Chasing the Movies, and this is another special before we get back to our original format. I'd like to welcome back to the show Kaylee King.
Hi!
She was here last year, of course, for those of you who remember doing the Oscar specials and whatnot. She's back here again. I figure who else who knows more about award season than I do, so why not have her back on the show again. And this year was definitely an interesting year for movies. Started off really slow, I thought.
Yeah.
The summer left a lot to be desired for sure. But again, the fall picks things up. Surprisingly, I'm just thinking it's going to be a lot of disappointing movies this fall, but there's been a lot of good ones so far. What would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. This year and last year as well, they were both kind of slow to start out with, and then at the end you had 3 or 4 really good ones in a row. But yeah, it was really the ones that are the major contenders. Mm-hmm. They're very, very good this year, so that was definitely a positive.
Exactly. 2008 was actually, in my opinion, probably one of the better years of the decade in terms of consistency. You had at least 2 or 3 really good movies a month, but this year was a little rougher. But that's what happens in movies. It just fluctuates kind of year by year.
Absolutely.
But today we're going to be talking about our inputs of the Oscars. I'm going to be talking about who I think is being overlooked, while Kaylee herself will then input into all the major acting categories. That's what the show is called. It's called For Your Consideration. And I'm going to get right down to it with Best Supporting Actress. This is a category in the past that it might have been one of the most unpredictable at times in the last decade or so.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Absolutely, both with nominees and with actual winners as well. And there's been a few that you're like, well, wait, what? That person won? And then other times it's just a clear-cut winner. But the supporting categories are always very hard because unless you have somebody clear-cut, like Heath Ledger, for example, who completely stole the show, even though he was a supporting role, it was the strongest role in that film, in The Dark Knight. And then you have other, winners in the past that you're like, okay, well, I can see why, but, you have a lot of strong actors and people who, deserve to win, but it's a difficult category because of that, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get right into it. Ones who I feel are being overlooked slightly. One is Hailee Steinfeld, is her name, from the movie True Grit.
Yes, I've heard a lot of really good things about her. I haven't had a chance to see the movie yet, but I've heard that she really steals the show.
The thing about it is that in the original True Grit film, of course, the character is supposed to be a younger girl, but she was played by someone who was much older in the original film. This film, she actually is her age. She's just a young, young little kid. But yet the attitude and the toughness she has is all because she's basically all alone, and she rises to the occasion of the film, where she really just, I guess you could say she's the connectors that hold it together. Mm-hmm. Because there's other great performances from Bridges, Damon, and Josh Brolin, and Barry Pepper. But it's just fantastic the way a lot of I find these younger actors these days are holding movies together. Mm-hmm. And I think that we've seen seen a couple of breakout stars this year in terms of children actors, like Chloe Grace Moretz is another one from Let the Right One In, and also Kick-Ass, which
and she was in 500 Days of Summer last year.
That's
it was a huge overlooked film at the Oscars.
It really was. That was actually my best film last year, if you recall, and it just did not seem to get the recognition it deserved.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the exception of maybe a couple minor Golden Globe nominations, which they were just completely overlooked for that as well. If you're overlooked at the Golden Globes, there's no way you're going to get an Oscar nomination.
Not necessarily.
Well, unless you're Edward Norton.
Or Jeremy Renner.
That's true. And he had a good year this year too. We'll get to him later, but yes, Hailee Steinfeld is one. Another one, younger actress. This is probably a movie you definitely haven't seen yet. It's been very limited. It's called Somewhere. Elle Fanning, Dakota's younger sister.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, and Sofia Coppola's new film. Really, really fantastic. Just like my younger sister at that age. What was that? Sorry.
Peter Sarsgaard is in that one.
That's one with Stephen Dorff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Again, and this is another case where. They don't just stick another young actress in a film. I find that has been happening a lot over the years, but I find these days filmmakers want children that will really, really just captivate the audience and just not make us say, oh, so cute, and actually make us think, wow. I don't want to be the oh, I want to be the wow.
If I'm saying, oh, that's so cute, then there's something wrong with the casting.
Well, so you got to sit down for like an episode of Full House or something.
Yeah,
so that's really fine for that, but not in a movie. Not in a movie quite like this caliber Somewhere. And what she really does is, you can tell in this movie that the movie's about a Hollywood movie star just merely existing through life and just walking through it, not really caring. Mm-hmm. And you can tell that she's just naturally trying to lend her dad some substance in her life, or in his life, sorry, but it's just not working. It's not that he's cold-hearted, he just doesn't know how to live anymore, it seems like. It doesn't know how to live in the world. And I really like what she really lends to that film, and I think that she's definitely been overlooked. Another one, and a lot of people, this one is maybe questionable. And I'll give you my reason in a second. It's Ellen Page in Inception. I think that, and here's why. I'll tell you why before you give your input. She lends intelligence to any film she's in. She just seems to carry this natural intelligence about her and gives it to her characters. Yeah. Like she's done in movies like Juno, even though she did a stupid thing, but she still had the kind of witty intelligence that really just helped that character flow. Same movies like Smart People or Whip It. She just has that quality, and I think that she actually lent a little something enough to Inception. I know the real star of that film is Christopher Nolan, but despite its ensemble cast, but still, I think she was really good in the film and lent it just that extra kick of intelligence. Mm-hmm. I mean,
well, I do like Ellen Page, and I've enjoyed a lot of her films, but she doesn't really stand out to me. And in Inception, it's interesting that you say that, actually, seeing as your first two actresses were very, hold the film together kind of roles, and the parts that they were playing were so prominent in the storyline itself. Ellen Page's character in Inception was a expositional character only. All she did was kind of explain to the audience what was going on, because everybody else was wrapped up in this world, and she was the newcomer like us, and as an audience. And so she kind of lent to the audience the exposition and the kind of roadmap that we needed while going through this movie, which was kind of hard to follow at times.
Okay, yeah.
So, although I do agree that she played the role well, I don't think the role was strong enough to garner any kind of nomination. That's the only hesitation I have with her. I mean, I do like her as an actress, and it's a very difficult thing to play an expositional role like that, because all you're doing is giving information. But she did do it well, but I don't think the role was strong enough to garner any kind of recognition. That's the only hesitation.
Well, that's fair enough. I just think that I believe that I guess in some cases you could think that they would stick anyone else in that role. Mm-hmm. But the thing I always say is that she just made it just that little extra more better.
Oh, for sure, she did, because the role is just expositional.
Yeah.
Am I saying the same word over and over again?
I do that all the time on this show. I do that all the time on this show. It's okay.
For anybody who doesn't know what that means in screenwriting terms, it means it's the M role in James Bond, where all she does is just lay out what's happening, what's going on, so that the audience can follow. So it's a good thing they cast Ellen Page instead of just some nobody, because then it would have seemed even more talkative than it was.
Very true, very true. All right, well, that is, I guess that's it for now for...
well, I do actually have yes, I do.
Do you have another thing to say?
The Social Network, which I will mention a lot in this program, for supporting actress Rooney Mara.
Rooney Mara, yes.
So good. And you want to talk about holding a film together, she's the reason that the film was. At least her character was, not the performance.
Yeah.
But the reason he made Facebook in the first place and kept it going was because of her character, because of this thing that happened in his life. And she had this actress, whomever was playing her, had to really bring that across, and she did it in the 8 minutes that she might have been on the screen, 10, 15 minutes that she might have been on the screen. What's the scene that you remember most from The Social Network?
There's a lot of scenes, to be honest with you, that I remember from that movie. That is one of the scenes right there. But I also
the opening scene is what drove the film.
Exactly.
And she was 50% of that scene. And she carried her 50% of that scene. And women have won for less time on screen.
That.
Won this supporting actress category for less time on screen than her. I really think that she should not be overlooked.
Rooney Mara is a good young talent. She's also the sister of actress Kate Mara, who's been in quite a few mainstream films. And Rooney Mara was also in A Nightmare on Elm Street earlier this year, but she really stretched her muscles.
Yeah.
More in the few minutes she was in this film than all the 2 hours of Nightmare on Elm Street. But now she's a really good young and rising actress, and I hope to see more from her in the future.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that is it for Best Supporting Actress. We're going to be moving on to Best Supporting Actor in our next segment.